what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into the Studs Podcast. Us three, Mike, Louie, and Keith, we are here. Louie, how you doing, man?
Doing great, man. How are things with you?
Doing well. Keith, how you doing?
Mike, I'm doing great, but we're on to Cincinnati. How are you doing?
Oh, what to say? We're not on to Cincinnati anymore. Because if we were on to Cincinnati, we'd still have Jimmy Garoppolo here. We'd still have Tom Brady here. But we're not. We can't be on to Cincinnati. We're on to Jarrett Stidham now.
Know who we do have, though, who's been tested, tried, and proven? Ryan Hoyer, the Destroyer.
Ugh. He's so... I can't... I don't like him at all. He did play well last preseason, though.
Yeah.
Keep that egghead on the bench.
He did. Yeah.
Keep that egghead on the bench.
Just start Stidham.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just go forward with Stidham, man. I mean, I was into Cam Newton for a little while, and then I kind of I don't know. I like the young route. I'm excited to see them play this year. I am more than I've been before, because I guess not that the winning gets sickening, but you just get used to it. It's like there's nothing new. Yeah, there's nothing new anymore.
Right.
So, but yeah, I'm excited for that. Again, I wish Jimmy G was still here, but that ain't happening. A lot of news this week in the sports world, especially with the return of sports. Seems like everything's opening up. Your thoughts? You guys got any thoughts about the NBA returning possibly soon? They're thinking about one location. You guys got any thoughts about any of that?
Well, you see, I haven't heard I haven't heard the actual story or the reports opening the NBA back up. Excuse me. So what did they say? What was the story? They're thinking about Orlando was going to be the spot as for the NBA opening back up.
They said Orlando and Vegas. Orlando and Vegas were the two spots they were potentially thinking about.
So
it would make.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, so every team has to play in either of those two spots.
Well, I would assume that they would have an East and West kind of ordeal. So they have Eastern Conference in Orlando, Western Conference in Las Vegas.
Right.
But I think the way they should do it, since everyone's quarantined and everyone's basically going to be in one location, the issues you used to have were in the Eastern and Western Conference, it should be like, all right, we should have a 1 through 16 seed. Best record, like number one team to the 16th best team, regardless of conference. So you could have like 10 Western Conference teams and 6 Eastern Conference teams in the playoffs, but it would be fair just because it would be by team record. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have some scrub like Charlotte Hornets be in there. Like, why the hell are they in the playoffs? They don't deserve to be there, you know? When someone in the West that gets cheated out, like the Pelicans, right? The Pelicans can make noise. Yeah. Like they got a nice young team they could easily not make the playoffs. So for me, I think they should switch over to that format, you know? With the circumstance they have right now, I think it makes all the sense in the world.
Now, my question would be is that obviously, this all started happening, right after All-Star break. So, I mean, there's still basketball left to be played to help determine that. So my question is whether or not, like Louie said, you just take the top teams and put them in like whatever. They're all drafted into the playoff brackets just based on record, or do you play out like the season a little bit more? Is there still more basketball left to be played? And in either situation, when a team plays, realistically, if you got like Las Vegas for the West, and if you got Orlando or whatever, Miami, wherever that is for the East, how often are teams going to be playing in there? Say if you have a game one day, how long do you wait until the next team can play in there? You know what I mean? Is it going to be like a normal NBA day or whatever? Because teams play, sometimes the next day. So is there going to be a delay in between games, or they got to disinfect the whole stadium first? I don't know how that's going to work out. Obviously, I would like it for it to come back in full force, but it doesn't look like it can. If they only got 2 spots from the play.
I think what the process is going to be is they're going to call in, it's got to be at least let's say they start calling in NBA players next week that left their hometown and said, you need to come here 14 days quarantine to make sure you have nothing. So it's going to start there. They're going to start calling in their players whenever that happens. That let's say they went overseas or they went back home wherever they were. They have to quarantine. They have to quarantine for 14 days. So I think they're going to call in their the players that need to be called in, quarantine them, and then, like I said, Disney World. They said Disney World's most likely going to be the site because they. Do you know how big Disney? Like, I didn't realize Disney World was like, I forgot what they said. It was like the size of like 30 football fields.
Mm.
No,
Yeah,
it's
makes
huge.
sense. Yeah.
And all the hotel rooms they have,
Right.
and the not hotel rooms, hotels that they have on there, it's very realistic. You could probably fit almost every team on there. I mean, it's only 15 players. You keep them in the bubble. So it's going to be interesting. Someone will get it. Someone will get it, and I hope not, but someone will get it. And that's the question. What if? What's going to happen when someone gets it?
I was just thinking about that because if you think about it, there's a lot of things that go into a basketball game and prepping for it. You have obviously the equipment managers, you have the players, you have the coaches, you have like the maintenance people for the actual arena or whatever where they're playing. And I mean, there's a lot of things that go on to that. So I mean, there's going to be a lot of people interacting. And mind you, I mean, both teams have like their own like entourage that travels with them and whatnot. So that's just one thing I was thinking about too. I think there's a high chance for people to get sick again. And what's going to happen if that happens? You know what I mean? Like say like I don't know, like two people, like when this all started, like the Jazz. Say like someone like a Rudy Gobert and a Donovan Mitchell, two players on the same team get sick. Is that team automatically out for like the rest of the season? Is that whole team like just like benched or whatever, or do they shut everything down again?
Yeah, well, that's the argument. It's like if Taco Fall, knock on wood, God forbid, if Taco Fall gets it, do they really have to cancel the Celtics game compared to if Jason Tatum gets it? You're one superstar is getting, like if LeBron catches it, that dramatically decreases the Lakers' chances compared to if Alex Caruso gets it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what do they do? What does the NBA do? Do they continue going on and that team has an unfair advantage because their best player just got the virus, or do they cut the whole league? Or are they going to play favorites and say, LeBron got it, we got to cancel, but, Taco got it, we can continue?
I think regardless of who gets it, they'll probably cancel no matter who it is, because no matter if they're a role player or if they're a superstar, if you came into contact with that player on that team who's gotten sick, you're at risk. No matter if you're a superstar, if you're a role player, if you're a bench player, no matter what, they're still at risk for getting sick. So I would assume that they would just shut the whole, quarantine the whole team. They wouldn't keep it playing, obviously, because why would you, In the locker room, obviously, you're right there. You're like up close and personal with your teammates. So, I mean, it's going around.
It's, the biggest sport that should have no issue getting back right now is baseball.
It's tennis.
I mean, tennis too. Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're next to each other.
Right.
And golf too. I mean, golf's making its way back.
Yeah,
you have that golf match
today.
today.
One of the best chances too, for sure. Yeah.
But baseball. I mean, this is a perfect baseball. I mean, I love baseball. I'm probably one of the rare between 18 and 25 that like to watch baseball. I only
Baseball's not good.
We got a delivery over here. I'm probably one of the rarest 18 to 20. I mean, I don't know. You guys don't watch baseball, do you? Maybe very rarely.
Not really. Every once in a while, but I can't follow.
I love the Red Sox. Do I watch every game? Absolutely not. 180 games, 3 hours every single night? No way. I can't do that. That's awful. But I love playoff. Playoff baseball is one of the best, especially the wild card, where they have the one game play-in. That's one of the best series in sports in terms of playoffs. Just the energy, the action is great. But this is their opportunity right now, and it's been talked about for a while. This is their opportunity right now to be the only big sport to be playing right now. I mean, golf is what it is. Baseball, in its heyday, should be able to beat out golf in terms of views, but that's going down because the pace of play, the games are too long.
They are.
They're too long. And you got the players that don't want to do it. They don't want to play. They don't want to play. And then that's the difference. The NBA is so much more popular now. And just look what's happening right now. The NBA players are ready to go. And these guys are body on body, full contact. Not as much as football, but full contact, sweat, everything. But yet these baseball players, one of them came out last week, said, I'm risking my life. Of course, but so are frontline workers every single day. So how do you go off and make that statement that you're risking your life when you got people on the front line working every single day? They're risking their life. You going out and playing baseball and standing at first base and the other person or whatever, you're standing in the outfield 35,000 feet away from the person. You're pitching and I think it's 10 feet from the mound or something like that. Come on, man.
But I mean, just to interrupt, but I can't see his argument a little bit. I mean, if you're at first base, if you're playing first base, there's a runner from the other team who you don't know. I mean, God forbid them.
I guess to counter that, they're not going to allow like steals and stuff or something like that. Right. So you wouldn't have to be that close.
But there's also the fact for baseball where I don't know if you guys have been in a baseball dugout, but if you're not in the outfield, if you're waiting to bat, you're just sitting in the dugout with everyone. It's like a locker room in there too.
I know. Well, that's where no matter where you go, you're gonna have to do a bubble site. Like it's gonna have to be a bubble site, whether it's Arizona. So these people, they're gonna be quarantined for 14 days even before the season starts. So I get that. I get that point. I get that point.
But I do agree with you. They're not out on the front lines risking their lives like that guy said that.
That's just so unjust to say. Yeah. Like it's just not politically right to why would you say that when you got these doctors and nurses doing what they're doing, dude? Like I forgot what his name was. I forgot. And
some asshat.
Yeah, I forgot who it was. He plays it, but here's the thing: the baseball players all come out and they support each other, which is great, I guess. But they're all like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna play either. I'm reducing my money." Come on, man. This is your opportunity. This is baseball's opportunity right now to be the number one sport. Yep. And they're ruining it. And soon baseball is not even going to be baseball anymore. Like 20 years from now, MLB might be what MLS is now. MLS is probably gaining more popularity right now than baseball is. I don't think it's there yet, but there's a big Revolution fans.
That's a hot take, Mike.
That's a big there's a fan base for the Revolution. It's really especially last year they had a really good season. Like the MLS could be in 20 years from now. Could definitely maybe be where NHL is, where maybe they're all lumped together. The MLB, the NHL, MLS are all lumped together. Because, I mean, you can't sit there and watch a 4-hour baseball game. You just can't.
Get back to the NBA point. I think it's going to be interesting because, they pretty much had these guys quarantined for 2 months, supposedly, if everyone's following the rules, right, under the team guidelines and things of that nature. So it'll be interesting how they make their way towards that Orlando base. See hopefully kind of escape any cautious things that are or any hazards that can bring the virus over. But I think the 14-day quarantine is a good idea. They probably will do that. But I just want to know you guys' thoughts on how the vibe of the game is going to turn out to be. You guys think it's going to be kind of like a summer camp, like a summer league kind of vibe when it comes to the playoffs? Because I'm assuming there's going to be no fans. I'm assuming it's going to be courts they're going to have courts pretty close together. I'm assuming they're all playing games. So I think it's going to be definitely an interesting experience to watch that. And I don't know how they're going to air all those games. I don't know if they're going to air them at different times, like usually how they do 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
It might be on tape delay like it used to be. Back in the day, you used to tape delay it. Tape it and release it later.
I don't think it's going to be a tape delay.
It could be.
It's going to be live games.
They might have games going on at the same time.
It's going to be run like an AAU tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. And they're going to broadcast. They're not going to tape delay. I mean, I don't know how many. So the Magic have training facilities near Disney or somewhere over there. I don't know how many courts they have. So you might. I mean, ESPN and you, I think too. And ESPN's got the wide world down there too. They got their huge indoor sports complex too. So between Orlando's facility and that, you could probably do maybe 2, maybe 3 games at a time. Whoever's broadcasting, so you're going to have the TNT crew down there quarantined. you're gonna have to have ESPN's crew, and I'm gonna assume they're gonna have Kyle Draper down there. And I'm not going to send Tommy Heinsohn down there. They're going to probably have Kyle and Scal down there. Or probably not Mike either. Mike and Tommy probably going to be staying up here. So I'm assuming they're all going to be quarantined. I don't think they're going to tape delay games. I really can't see that. But it's going to be run like an AAU tournament.
I'm saying if they got like a bunch of games going at the same time and they can't cover them all, they might just tape it and then show it like the day after.
I'm honestly excited for it because it's weird. You see all these like superstars and all these glamour like names just playing in an indoor gym with no fans. It's like you kind of having it's kind of like the MJ documentary, like when they had that 5-on-5 practice with the Dream Team. It's like, wow, like these guys are just playing with, like, it's gonna be weird. Are they gonna like create some sound effects like when people do things well? Like, how's that gonna go?
So I was watching the Korean baseball. I only watched for like 10 minutes. I just wanted to see it because there's nothing.
Doing that Korean baseball, you gotta let it go,
Yeah.
Mike.
Gotta let it go. I only watched it once.
I never watched it.
I watched it on repeat.
I didn't even know they aired
I didn't
it
wake up at 5 a.m.
I didn't know they aired it.
Tell us about
the games are on at 1 a.m. on ESPN. I'll never wake up and watch that. But I watched it for 10 minutes on rerun. And I got to say, the way they did it, you kind of didn't really even notice that there weren't any fans. Kind of really didn't notice that there were any fans. I know they were playing sound in through it. I completely lost my train of thought just now. Let me restart.
All right.
The way they had the camera set up, it was only maybe on pop flies that you noticed there weren't fans, but it sounded like they were pumping in noise. And it really wasn't that big. I don't know I think we're just so starved of sports right now that we'll take anything. Even if they pump in fan noise, I mean, what's it gonna be? Don't make it unrealistic. Don't make it like, let's take a free throw or something like that. Like, I mean, Joe Buck from Fox talked about doing that. They were going to pump in noise into the football game. So as long as they do it, in the Korean Baseball League, it sounded realistic. Like I said, they only showed the seats when it was a pop fly because that's the only option. But other than that, they have been doing a good job avoiding showing that. So
you gotta think benches are gonna get more involved with like celebrations and things of that nature, and like let people, actually like celebrate, have some fun on the court, because there's no fans out there. It's just you. Like I think like refs got to be a little more lenient now with like the technicals and the taunting, and let it be like summer hoop ball, man. Like let these guys just ball. Let the kids play, man. I don't want to see none of these technical fouls, none of this BS. I don't want to see any of that. Talking to you, Ed Malloy.
Shout out to Tim Donaghy.
Also, rest in peace, Jerry.
That was the referee, right? That rigged the games. Sacramento. Was it Tim Donaghy?
I don't know. I just remember Joey Crawford though, bald ass. Who was like a shark?
Who was the ref Pierce punch? Remember that he got the end where he's like, yeah, boom.
I thought it was Rondo.
Rondo punched one of them too, but Pierce was the better one. Pierce got so pumped he like punched him, or he fell into him, or something like that. Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I wonder if like TV is gonna have to like rate these games now, like stinking TV 14 or mature audio, like because there's gonna be swearing. How the heck are you gonna block out all that sound? I mean, it's not perfect anyway right now. You still hear it most of the time, but. What are they going to do? 10-second delay, and that's going to be 10-second delays of everything. So how are you going to – you just got to let it play?
Do you guys think that this whole situation, right, does this throw off everything for every team's plan? Like, is it, like, up for grabs now, you guys think, or no? Like, any team, or do you think it's still the top-tier team still got it?
I think it throws it off a little bit. I still think the top teams, like maybe the first, like, I'll say 1 through 4 seeds – because everyone has been away from the game for so long, it's been like a month and a half, 2 months since there's been like games going on. I feel like everyone's going to be rusty coming back, but I feel like the really good teams, like I said, maybe the first like 1 through 4 seeds, they're going to be on more of an even playing field, especially because, like I said, there's no game from being played. So I feel like all the momentum that they had going into the All-Star break is completely gone. So they got to restart and get going again. So I think Like I said, those 4 teams, those first 1 to 4 seeds, are more like even on playing field. But I still think the bad teams, the teams like 5 through whatever 8 seed, I still think that they're bad teams for a reason. So I still think that they got some work to do in order to like catch up. But I think that that comes into like play a little bit of evening the playing field, just a little bit though, but only for the better teams.
I just can't picture Mike Breen saying "bang" when it's an empty court.
It's gonna be like bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, it's gonna echo.
Mike Breen, shut up, dude. You're loud.
I'm gonna go against that point. I think I'm not trying to be a green teamer, but like for a team like the Celtics, a team like the Pelicans, teams that had injury issues, I think it's definitely was a beneficial thing for them. I mean, Hayward has time again because he's always injured. Let's just face the facts. He's always injured. Williamson has probably had a little bit more time now to get into shape, work out, recover, get a little healthier. Some of these teams that had some injury issues, even if, let's say, Brooklyn was able to bring back Kyrie. I know they're not, but like that, it'd be a beneficial for a team like that with a lot of injuries, if you get what I'm saying. So I think that benefits them in the long run. A team like the Lakers, I mean, they are an older roster. I don't think LeBron is going to get rusty. He's just LeBron. He takes impeccable care of his body, but they were on a roll. They were on a roll before and so were the Celtics too. I mean, Tatum was on a roll, so that might affect Tatum a little bit. But I think for these teams with injuries, this was definitely a beneficial time for them. But some of the older teams, again, like Milwaukee too, they were on a run too. So I think these teams are on runs definitely might take a little hit. The big factor is the playoffs. You're not going to have home court advantage anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There is no home court.
Do you think, just to go off track a little bit, do you think that they'll pump in like more fan noise for like a home team or whatever, or like how do you think that'll work?
I think they're going to pump in a lot of music like they normally do. I think it's just going to be very music-centric. I think you're going to have the family. I don't know if they're going to allow close friends, but everyone who's there is going to be quarantined. So you got to think it's going to be the players, the coaches, probably family, and I don't even think they have cheerleaders. Yeah, they have cheerleaders, probably them. They'll be making a lot of noise. Their dance teams, all that stuff. So probably still be a good 500 people in there, maybe 400. Maybe a little less, I don't know. It's going to be like a high school game. It'll literally be like a high school game. It'll be authentic, though.
Very interesting to see. Very interesting to see. I can't even picture it in my head right now.
I mean, it'll be different. Imagine watching hockey with no fans, like hearing the puck just go up and down, sliding around. Like that's cool. But I think there's no home court advantage, so it's like the Lakers are losing that advantage now. The Bucks are losing that advantage now. Again, I'm not saying anyone's going to beat them.
Just a better team, yeah. Better team wins.
It's a better team. But, like, it might give a team like the Pelicans just that little more comfortability. Or even the Grizzlies, because they're gritty, might make them feel just that little tad comfortable.
Fighting that home court advantage is important, right? Like
in the NBA, yeah.
Yeah, dude, like
NFL, electric.
The fans of the
things
sixth
get
man.
electric.
The fans of the sixth man.
Things get electric in there. You start playing, you score a couple baskets, and you're just playing out of your mind. You get the crowd behind you. You're in the zone. You don't have that now. It's
More
like
than any other sport.
It's like a scrimmage. In a sense.
Home court in the NBA is more important than in any other sport. NFL, how many road wins are there in the playoffs? There's always a ton of road upsets.
Absolutely.
MLB, the home team, I mean, it's not that big of an advantage. The NBA, I mean, it's a flip. Celtics-Raptors, Game 7 at the Garden. Celtics are most likely winning that game. Up in Toronto's probably taking that game. Home court advantage is so big in the NBA, especially with those closer teams, and that makes a big difference.
And the officiating.
The officiating. So, again, a Celtics-Raptors series, if Boston has home court, then Boston's probably going to win that series. If Toronto has home court and that goes Game 7, the Celtics winning up in Toronto, no matter how great they are.
You might see a better officiating just because there's no bias. There's no fan bias.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
You also You also might be able to see a lot of missed calls too, especially when you hear slaps on the recording on the TV and they don't call anything. It's like, dude, what are you watching there? Or girls, sorry, girls, women have been referring up are referees too.
Quite a few. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's definitely gonna be interesting. Do you taint any of these championships? Do you taint, the World Series with no fans? Whenever that happens, do you taint a Super Bowl champion next year with no fans and going through all this? NBA, do you taint any of that?
No, I think it's special. I think it's actually I don't know. It's very unique. I think to win something like this is like, I don't know. It's an accomplishment. It really is just not like any other series. It's like there's just like this crazy storyline building up of everyone having to quarantine, everyone have to like train independently, having to rely on themselves, just on sheer will. And hopefully hopefully our Celtics have been doing the right thing by training, keeping themselves healthy, quarantine.
According to Tatum, he hasn't shot a ball.
Yeah, that worries me a little bit. But I mean,
you believe him?
Yeah, I mean, I believe him. Kid's still a stud though, but.
I just feel like how are you not able to get a basket delivered to your house, like in his position?
I think he had one delivered. Definitely. I was actually I seen a trade proposal from the Liberty Ballers Twitter the other day. Those are the 76ers, and they made this proposal of potentially trading us for Joel Embiid, and it was a trade package centered around Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart. I want to know your thoughts about that. Listen, I'll give you my initial thoughts because I'll let you think about that. I think if you bring Embiid to Boston, I think that's a great idea. I'm sorry, Marcus Smart is a tough one to let go for me. But if you have Tatum and Embiid, I feel like that's almost a comparison to Shaq and Kobe. I feel like that's almost a comparison to Shaq and Kobe. I feel like if you have those two, they will dominate. They will dominate the East, and I feel like we'd be the number one seed. People I made like a Twitter post about it.
You have your Giannis stopper right there.
Yeah, people call me crazy. Like, dude, I love Jaylen Brown and I love Marcus Smart, but if you have the chance to roll a dice on a star player, because Embiid's a superstar, Jaylen Brown will be an all-star, but Embiid is a superstar.
How old is Embiid?
Like 25.
Is he 25?
26. I think so. Let me check. Let me fact check.
I wouldn't mind doing Jaylen. I mean, I love Jaylen Brown. There's only a couple people I trade him for. I think Embiid's probably one of those people.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely is, because I think Embiid fits Steven's system because he can shoot, he can hit his free throws.
27.
26.
26. All
right. He's 26. 27. No, I said 26. Oh.
I mean, personally,
he fits Stevens' system. He fits him perfectly. He's not a defensive liability at the end of the games. You don't have to take him out because of free throws.
He's a beast, dude. Yeah. He's a beast. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you do it?
Why? Yeah. No. I mean
Marcus. I love Marcus, dude.
If there was a way to figure to keep Marcus in the team and maybe give them a little bit more, maybe some more picks instead, and say, we're going to keep Marcus. I would love that even more. I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Take Kemba.
I mean, I would do it anyway.
Take Kemba or Gordon. Take them.
Yeah, take Hayward. Give Simmons some shooting, a little bit more shooting and playmaking off the wing. I would do it. I would just try to find a way to keep Smart if possible. But if that's the case, I mean, yeah.
I'd be all for that trade too. I mean, I'd be all for that trade. I just didn't know how old Embiid was. I mean, that would be the only thing. If he was older, I mean, 26 isn't that bad. But if he was like 28 or whatever, or like closer to 30, I mean,
yeah, it's tough.
I mean, centers take a lot of abuse. You know what I mean? They're down in the paint doing the dirty work. They're getting hit. They're getting slapped. They're taking a lot of abuse down there. So I think that centers are probably the more like they tend to get injured more. I think, or they're higher risk to get injured. So, I mean, if he was older, I mean, I would be more questionable. But if the guy's only 26, I'd be totally fine with that. I mean, I'd hate to see, like Mike said, Marcus Smart and Brown go. But, I mean, if that's a possible deal, I'll be fine with that going through.
I just think, you have an ultimate player that can defend, can shoot, and scores in the post like an animal. When the
It's an
game
all-around
slows
player.
down in the playoffs, because playoffs the game always slows down. It's not a fast pace. It's not a fast paced game. It's not like a fast break game where in a regular season you have run and gun offense like your buddy Eric. Run and gun, baby.
Yeah, run and gun, then he turns the ball over.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
what he
know.
says.
He's like, I'm the point center, but nah, I don't. You got to go all in on Embiid, dude. And people say like, oh, he's soft or oh, he's not a winner, dude. They almost beat the Raptors in Game 7, and Embiid had like 30 points. Like you got to tell me this dude's not a winner.
The only thing that concerned me about him, and it wouldn't stop me from making that trade at all, but the only thing that concerns me about him is just his health. How healthy is he gonna be?
Right.
What issues are gonna come up? That's the only thing.
But he's played it.
I would still do the trade
in every
though.
playoffs. He's played every game in the playoffs. That's all that matters to me.
Mm-hmm. That's the only
all
thing.
that matters to me.
I would still do that trade.
Yeah, I would as well.
People call me. Yeah, people say that he's soft and this, that. I'm like, dude, get out of here. He's the best big man in the NBA. Call me crazy. Best center in the NBA. Who you gonna tell me is a better center than Joel Embiid right now?
Towns, maybe.
No.
He's a shooter though. He can do that. Maybe not as. He's versatile.
Embiid's a better pure dominant center.
Yeah.
But
Embiid's like up here. He's up here. It would be dumb for Philly to trade him. Honestly, it would be dumb. But if it happens, hey, Boston, and he's made comments about Boston fans saying like, oh, they have a great fan base, this, that. Here comes my green team hat coming on right now. But I feel like he would embrace Boston. Because Phillies fans are a bunch of just D-bags.
What's his contract?
I think he's still got a few years, but he could force a trade. I could see him forcing a trade out of there.
The one thing that I feel like a lot of people are getting on Ainge because he hasn't made any moves. Like I can't remember the last trade he made. I really can't. I don't know how long.
I mean, he stayed pat this year.
He stayed pat for the past 4 years, 3 years. Like, I think the GMs really don't like to deal with him. They want to fleece him. So I think if you ever called Philly and said they want to be like, they're not going to mess around with him. They're going to be like, yeah, we want this, we want that, we want Brown. We're not giving you without Tatum. We want both of them. Like,
yeah, if they want Tatum, you're gonna say kick rocks.
Well, like I feel like GMs are doing that to him now. They do not want to get fleeced by Ainge, and Ainge has a problem. I guess it's not. I mean, Ainge wants to win every trade. He doesn't want to be fair value with every trade. He wants to win every single trade by a mile, like with the Nets trade. He wants to win it by a mile, and the GMs, I think, know that now, and that's why he hasn't made a lot of trades in the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he has not pulled the trigger on a couple of trades. Like the Jimmy Butler trade a couple of years ago. Like, Paul George, you could have had the chance to pull in.
Kawhi.
Yeah. Oh.
Still, Kawhi would have left anyway, but.
See, I don't know. Maybe.
I
think Kawhi's different. You know, Kyrie's not. I mean, KG wasn't ready to commit to here. I think maybe Kawhi could have been sold on it. I don't know. Not Kyrie. Kyrie's a different animal. But I think Kawhi's a different animal that is about winning. Now, if you went to the Clippers and the Clippers weren't even a chance to be a contender, then that'd say a lot about him. But he went there. That was a contending team, and especially adding Paul George into there. So I think you could have had a slight chance of convincing Kawhi to stay. I really do. Did you hear? I remember hearing a couple when Kyrie left. I remember hearing there was some reports that came out that he was talking to Durant about coming to Boston. That was before he totally shifted his head and wanted to get out of there. And I forgot what the turning point was for him to just want to leave. But I guess there was talk like he was trying to sell Durant on Boston. Because remember, Durant.
Can you imagine coaching that team, though? God.
Stevens would be fired. Stevens would be out.
You get like a Tyronn Lue in there.
It would go back. Stevens would be out. You know, Doc Rivers would be able to handle that team. Last year, Doc Rivers was the better coach for that team, not Brad Stevens.
I still think Brad has respect, though. Brad has respect.
I think Brad has respect. I just think when it comes to superstars like Kyrie Irving, like that team last year, Doc Rivers probably does a little bit better managing them. Not saying he's going to be perfect. I think Doc does a better job managing.
Not the X's and O's, but the personalities.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, I think Doc would have been the better coach last year. This year, Stevens. I still think Doc's a phenomenal coach. In terms of managing egos and what he can do, I think he's phenomenal. But yeah, I would take Embiid. Absolutely. I just don't think GMs want to trade with him. At all.
Blessing and a curse, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Back to the NBA, the NBA coming back point. The home court is just big. Like, is it open to everyone? No, but it definitely benefits some teams more than the others. In terms of comeback, I'm just excited for basketball to hopefully come back soon. I had another point. I can't think of it. I had another point about it. Can't think of it.
Bury it. It's gone.
Yeah, I had another point about that. Yeah. So that'll be cool. Hopefully sports come back soon. Hopefully life can resume to some sort of normalcy in the near future.
Then we got that golf tournament, right?
I remember the question. I remember. It's so I asked you about the legitimacy of the title. Like, I think it's still a legitimate title. Like a lot of people questioned the Spurs when they won their first championship because it was a strike year. And they're like, oh, Houston was so old and they couldn't, really get in shape. San Antonio won that because they were a younger team, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's going to get flack no matter what, no matter who wins. But it's better than the NHL talked about just giving the number one seed the championship about a month ago. Like, so the Bruins would win. The Bruins would be the champions. But, like, why? I would rather vacate this year's title than to do that.
Play it out in the summer league, baby. Play it out in the summer league. And next year, think about it, right? To kind of get off your point, how is the regular NBA season going to start now? Is it going to start later now? Because
I think that's beautiful. So? Oh my
I think
God.
They should take away. I don't think they should start at Christmas. I think they should start around like November to October. I think they should cut out the preseason. Screw the preseason. We don't need that. No one watches it anyway.
Probably have to do it. One or two games.
Have to get rid of the preseason. I think that's a waste of time.
No, they've been talking about it. They start at Christmas Day because Christmas Day is the biggest slate of games until the playoffs. You start on Christmas Day, and they go into I think it was Christmas Day through August. NBA Finals in August or September, and then you have the NFL starting in September. So you got the NFL starting in September through February. You got the NBA December, Christmas through August, which means you really only have a little couple weeks in between where there's not really a lot of sports. Baseball would stay the same all summer long, but no one's watching baseball. So we get you fans of NBA and NFL, where that's where a lot of the viewers go to, are getting those sports now technically all year long.
I think players wouldn't really like that because they're taking a lot of their summer away in a sense.
I mean,
that's just. Yeah. I mean, you can always go on vacation and stuff, but I feel like some of their summer is being compromised a little bit. No.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that really matters. I don't know. They can go travel wherever they want to. I mean, the MLB, their summer's gone all year. Every summer.
I'm just saying, once you have something a certain way, then you change it. I don't think everyone's going to be particularly too happy with that.
I think with this, you're gonna have to go through.
But I feel like it's a need though. But I feel like maybe if you didn't push it till Christmas, maybe you put it to November. I think that would be better.
It's great for us. It's great for fans.
Yeah, there's no gap.
Maybe 2 or 3 weeks gap, but you still got preseason football going on during that time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something. That's better than sitting and watching baseball games with 4.5-hour games.
Yeah.
So it's better for us.
And it's good for the views too. Views on top of that as well. If you only have one thing to watch, hey, go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, but it definitely changes up the playoff dynamic. It gives these middling teams somewhat of a better chance to maybe make a little run. No home court. I think you might see it in just a more organic quality of basketball too. I really do. Obviously, they're not in as great shape as they would be playing all year, playing continuously. But I think you're just going to see an organic brand of basketball because again, those effects aren't there. The home court, the away fan, and it's not there. It's just pure basketball,
Right.
which will be interesting. But yeah, that's my take on that. I'm excited. I hope everything comes back. Those things will be big music events, though. Let me tell you. Literally gonna be playing music the whole time. Probably gonna hear music while they're playing. It's gonna be even more than it is now.
Be like my park.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my park. Yeah.
Yeah, but instead it'll be like some Bobby Brown or something playing. My father was listening to what came on A$AP Rocky. He's like,
really?
Is this swear? I said, I think so. Yeah, definitely does.
Rocky?
Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah, so that's that. What else? What else you guys got?
Oh, we're talking about the golf tournament, right? With Peyton Manning, Tiger.
Yeah.
And you have Tom Brady and is it what Phil?
I guess
Phil Nicholson.
I ain't watching it. No way. But
I'm not watching either. But
I'm not watching. I didn't even know they were having one.
Yeah, they're doing it for charity or whatever. Because Tom Brady has to get his head into everything now.
Yeah, of course he does.
It's I'm not hating. I'm sorry.
You definitely are.
He does whatever he wants.
You definitely are. It's all right though.
I mean, over the past couple of years, he kind of became that. But
they're coming out with a docu-series for Tom Brady, right? Too for just like MJ.
But that's like, it's like I don't know. I didn't realize. I mean, I knew it, and then I kind of forgot watching the first half of the Jordan documentary series. But like, I knew when it first came out that Jordan had final say. Then I kind of forgot. And then over the past couple episodes, I remembered, oh, yeah, he had final say in everything. So no wonder why all these players are coming out and upset with him about everything. It's going to be the same thing with Tom Brady. I mean, you could put stuff in there. You know, Tom, he might say, I wasn't the best teammate. But how far from the truth is this docuseries, especially with him, who doesn't even speak the truth when he talks to the media? So it's probably going to be just a bunch of baloney. I mean, I'll watch it.
As a Patriots fan, I will watch it too.
Yeah.
I'll watch it as well.
It'll be interesting.
It's not coming out until 2050 though, or something like that.
2021.
2050.
2050.
I don't even know what the internet is.
Jordan played in 90, and this came out like what? And like 30 years afterwards? But he's still playing.
No, you're right, because this next year is just going to be Tom Brady. In 2050, if the Patriots stink from here on out and don't do anything else, then you're going to get a Patriots last dance.
Yeah, exactly.
2019 series 20 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I just, there's no validity. If Belichick's not on that Tom Brady documentary, then I really don't respect it. If Belichick's on there and he speaks honest about things, about him and Brady, I'll give it a little credence, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Do you think he'll talk? Do you think he'll actually want to be on
Belichick,
Nope.
No. Belichick has a history of not talking.
It's going to be a Brady glam slam. It's just going to be all highlighting Brady. You're going to have a few moments where he says, I wasn't the best teammate here, or, did I really deflate the Bulls, maybe. And then it's going to be just like it was to Jordan. Like, it was really just a highlight of Jordan's career, if you really think about it. They talked about the gambling here and there, but that was it. And then he ripped apart his other teammates. Even though the Scottie Pippen stuff, you can't hide it. That happened.
Right.
Yeah, Scottie
was
deemed very upset about something.
Yeah, him and Horace Grant.
His portrait.
The horror stuff you can, it's like the horror stuff you can say maybe that is true. Maybe he didn't do all that. The Pippen stuff, though, I mean, dude, you sat on the bench.
Yeah.
Did Jordan have to highlight that? No, but he did.
And he wasn't even playing either.
No, exactly.
He was playing baseball.
Exactly. So that kind of took a little validity away from that documentary. It wasn't like him. He made sure those things were in there to spite them. And that's probably going to have an effect on the relationship. If you can't talk to Charles Barkley because Barkley said the truth about him stinking with the Charlotte Hornets, then what do you think is now going to happen with Horace Grant and Pippen. You think they're really going to talk to each other that much? Kerr's probably mad about stuff too. They probably all are. Probably all are at some extent. But that's the same thing that's going to happen with the Brady documentary. How much validity is it going to have? It's not going to have a lot of validity without Bill Belichick saying stuff on there. It's going to be just a Brady glam slam.
I agree, just because of the fact that he likes that attention. So I think you could tell too now in Tampa things are a little different.
Yep, 100%, man. 2050 coming soon.
I hope.
He'll be like 72 when that comes out.
Yeah, I hope we don't have to have that documentary. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Patriots will still be relevant, unlike the Bulls. I mean, if the Bulls didn't lose Derrick Rose, I mean, that's probably a little different story. Probably a whole different story.
You got so many what ifs, man. You got so many what ifs. You'd say Brandon Roy, say T-Mac.
That's the thing too. Like Krause, they all were wanting to come back. Jordan said they all wanted to come back. That's the difference. Brady wasn't coming back. Brady didn't like his coach. Jordan loved Phil Jackson. That was the only coach he wanted to play for. Big difference there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's super big difference. Jordan was willing to go back. Brady was out. It wasn't going to happen. So did the Patriots do the right thing? I think so. Even though Brady didn't probably want to come back. Krause, knowing that all of them wanted to come back and the competition was so low, Krause messed up. And then he did nothing after. If he went off and D Rose stayed healthy and they had those good players and they made some runs, then you might be.
Was he the GM at the time when they had that team? He still was.
Yeah, he was GM till 2003, I think. 2002. Yeah.
I don't know if that team was put together though. 2003 was it? No, I wasn't that. That was like 2008.
D Rose, yeah, it was 08. Yeah, it was after. I think that was when Paxson was a GM.
Yeah.
He's been stinking it up too.
Yeah, it's that's. I think that's a part of doing the documentary. Like the Bulls have been. If the Bulls were relevant, it's probably not named The Last Dance. If the Bulls won maybe a championship or two since then, he's probably not named The Last Dance.
Right.
Probably the last season.
I guess that's what made it cool though too, knowing that this is it, boys.
Like that's the Bulls franchise. Like I think the Bulls took a hit. Like they've been nothing since. Other than those D Rose years, and then they had that little run with Rondo because they almost beat the Celtics. But I trust in Isaiah.
If Rondo didn't get hurt,
Isaiah
they would have beat them. If Rondo didn't get hurt, they would have kicked the crap out of the Celtics. That's just the honest truth.
I know. But yeah, no. So I think there's just big differences between the Bulls and the Patriots. You had Brady. Jordan wanted to come back. And he probably would have convinced everyone else to come back. I don't think Brady wanted to come back.
Since this is kind of an open discussion, I'll leave you guys here with this. There's always this. So for me personally, I'm always debating these LeBron sexuals, as I like to call them, as they will defend LeBron, saying he's the greatest player of all time. And I understand that you can't say, okay, like winning rings equates to greatness. I understand that. You need to kind of every piece has its part, right? Like you need to have the stats, obviously. You need to have the rings to show for it, and it's kind of like a pizza, right? You got all the toppings on it, right, to get the best kind of pizza. You need everything on that pizza, but it's like people are like with LeBron people are always throwing out these stats like, oh, best assist leader, leads in assists, leads in rebounds, scores greatly in points. This, that, like field goal percentage, whatever the case may be. But if you go to 9 finals and you only win 3, that says a lot. That says a lot about you, and it says a lot about how much of a winner you are.
Well,
to three-peat twice, like Michael Jordan did, there will not be another GOAT. There will not. And I discount like I get like Bill Russell and like Kareem and all those players, but the league was different. Like the league is the same. When MJ But MJ to LeBron, there's still 30 teams in the league. You know what I mean? So you can't discount that. Go ahead, Keith.
The way I see it is this, because I actually just watched a video on this earlier today. I think that being the GOAT, you have to be well-rounded, and not just one area winning, but in a ton of areas. And I agree that LeBron, he's up there for stats, but I think it's about winning. I think it's about longevity, and I think it's about legacy. I look at it like that. I mean, obviously, Jordan has more championships, but LeBron's got more stats. But you got to look at it like this. LeBron has been in the league for, I want to say, 18, 19 seasons.
18 years, yeah.
But Jordan, when he got all those accomplishments, did it in 13 seasons. He played 6 seasons less than LeBron and got all those accolades going for him. So that's one thing. So you got to look at longevity. I mean, LeBron's got better longevity. He's been able to maintain his peak longer than Jordan. But Jordan, like I said earlier, I mean, he's got all these accolades in a shorter amount of time. So Jordan's got him beat there. And then for winning, obviously, Jordan went 6-0 in the finals. And like you said, Louie, LeBron's been to more finals consecutively, or whatever. But Jordan still got the better record. And I look at it like this as well, for the last thing. Stats are important. I'll give that to Jordan. I mean, not Jordan, LeBron, because he's got more rounded stats. But for legacy, no question, Jordan changed the game more than LeBron. Jordan is.
Here's the argument too. The argument too here is that Jordan had a better surrounding cast on the Bulls. So like Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Horace Grant, etc. But you can't tell me when LeBron joined the Big Three, that team would have was taken over the NBA. That team, you had Dwayne Wade, who was a top 5 player at the time. Mm-hmm. You had Chris Bosh, who was arguably a top 7 player at the time. In Toronto, he was the man. They were like a 3 or a 4 seed, and they went into the playoffs. And I don't know what round it was, like maybe first or second round, but he was a great player. And a lot of people like to make the argument that Dennis Rodman was a better player than Chris Bosh. I will say this, rebounding, defensively, yeah. I mean, Rodman was just the ultimate role player. But Chris Bosh was an all-star, potential also superstar before he got, the blood clots and all that. Mm-hmm. But I think you can't, like, the Heat they won 2 championships, but they're almost 1 for 4 instead of 2 for 4 if Ray Allen didn't hit that shot. I'm not going to discredit them, but if Ray Allen doesn't hit that shot, San Antonio wins. And they're only 1 for 4. And you can tell me LeBron is your GOAT? I don't know, because I think he checks out in the fourth quarter. I know he's hit some big shots, but I think he's not the same player as Michael. And I don't care. He might be the best all-around player, saying like he's everything he does, he's good at. But he's not, like, I want to say he's the best at everything he does, So it's like, for that argument, like, yeah, Jordan wasn't the greatest passer, whatever. Jordan wasn't as, great rebounder. Well, yeah, he's 6'6", he's a shooting guard, number 1. But when it comes to scoring, when it comes to, like, clutch shots, when it comes to the theatrics, all of that, he's got it, and he's got it up here. I mean, if you're a basketball fan, there's no debate. There's no debate. Some of these new generation kids they will say LeBron, but it's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I will debate anyone on this topic.
Yeah,
like,
100%
your thoughts,
agree.
Mike? Mike's just sitting down, taking it all in.
He's like a vegetable.
That is such a
fired up. I'm fired.
Fail.
I get fired up over this topic.
What a fail. You should have beaten Dallas. You should have beaten the Thunder, which you did, because they were just not ready at that time. You should have beat the Spurs both years. Maybe not the second. The second year a little different because Kawhi Leonard was there, and was he a rookie? Was he a second-year player?
Second year, probably.
All right, so Kawhi is what he is now, and he was what he was then too. So, but they still sort of could have won that, especially against an older Spurs team. What a failure that was. Complete failure. I think for LeBron's mental game, it was a success for him to leave and go to Miami in terms of just mental and feeling how it is to win, but to only pull out 2 championships out of those 4 years together.
Scraping 2.
What
Scraping
a disgrace.
2.
Disgrace.
Pull back
the Thunder was their best one. The Thunder won 1 game? That was it.
Yeah, it was a 4-1. Yeah.
The Spurs was 7 games. Like,
pull
come
back
on.
the video. Not 4, not 5, not 6.
That's
what
makes
it worse. That's what makes it worse. That's what
they
makes it
were that
worse.
dominant. They were dominant. They should have pulled off more than
3
2.
superstars. You've never seen anything like that before.
No.
And people try to downplay Chris Bosh. That's what pisses me off.
You had 3 number ones. Maybe Bosh is a 1 or 2, but 3 number ones.
That's what gets me angry. I don't care about the Cleveland team. Like Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving, That was a good championship. I will give him that. I will give him that. I will give him the Cleveland one. Absolutely, no doubt. And even him taking that scrub team with Zydrunas Ilgauskas and Sasha Pavlovich, that's the thing that's you go to the finals with that team. That's impressive. That's and the guy that's banging his mom. But I mean, that's the thing. Like, you can't tell me LeBron's the GOAT. You can't tell me LeBron's the GOAT. It's not possible. It's not possible. I don't care. Bring up any stat you want. I don't care. Because you're gonna tell me the supporting cast of Scotty and Dennis isn't equal to D Wade and Chris Bosh at the time. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
If I can, I just want to throw another little stat, another little nugget that I found. I was listening to earlier on the same video. They were talking about like in the playoffs, the teams that Chicago played against, in the Jordan area, and the teams that LeBron and his team
Area 21
they played against.
Well, let's not talk about that.
And no, but they were talking about like the average wins of the teams that they played against, and they said that for LeBron, the teams that he played against in the playoffs had like an average of like 60 wins or whatever, and he struggled in the playoffs, as you saw. I mean, the guy's he's 3-9, for finals, but Jordan actually had he went against teams that were 61. So I mean, they edged out, but not by much. But Jordan played against teams that averaged 61 wins, where LeBron did 60, and Jordan went 6-0. Just to put that there, Jordan played against better teams in the playoffs than LeBron did.
That's a good stat, Keith. Wow.
Oh yeah, man. Do my research on stuff.
Listen, I give him his beginning of his career, okay, but how many times did he quit? I mean, again, you use the Celtics. He quit those the best performance was that Game 7 in the championship year for the Celtics. But like that 2009 or 10 series, he quit. He quit against Orlando the year before. He was he had a shoulder injury. I can't really shoot or I can't do anything. His mental strength was just not there. And then you go to Miami and you team up like that. Well, it's a fail. That's a fail. Come on.
It's a Kevin Durant.
The Celtics took you at 38 years old, Paul Pierce, and 38 years old, Kevin Garnett. Took you to 7 games and had you on the ropes in Game 5. Now, a phenomenal performance by him in Game 6, but they took you to 7 games. Here's my hot take, by the way. I think the Celtics win against OKC.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's a hot take, but
I think Paul Pierce, like, if the ages were matched, dude, Celtics winning that. Celtics are winning that all day.
Yep.
Unreal.
Yeah, Pierce had his number in the beginning, at least. Once he went to Miami, they won, but Pierce had his number. I mean, LeBron went to Miami because of Pierce and because of the Celtics, and it was still a failure. Like, hey, the Celtics, if they don't trade Perkins, I always say that, they probably take Miami 7 games, Eastern Conference Finals, probably even win it, especially that first year. Like, Oh, what was it? What was the other one? He was dehydrated. He was drinking pickle juice. He had cramps. I forgot what series that was. I don't know if that was San Antonio or was one of the San Antonio series. Like, the only thing I give him is he didn't have to quit. He didn't quit like Jordan did to go play another sport. Suspension. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have gambling issues like that. I'll give LeBron that. I think LeBron's a very smart guy, and what he does in the community.
We're talking about
on the court.
Screw all that
No comparison.
Come on, Mike, on the court. Stick to your topic.
No comparison.
Yeah, man,
No,
don't give LeBron any leverage.
No, I'll give him a little leverage off the court. That's it. Not on the court. I think his all-around talent is might be a little better, but it comes down to the mentality, and he just doesn't.
Magic Johnson even said it to himself. Michael Jordan is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. But LeBron might be the best all-around player of all time.
Yeah.
Hey, I got another thing for you. Same thing. They interviewed Scottie Pippen about this because I think after that the third championship LeBron won with the Cavaliers over Golden State, LeBron actually called himself the GOAT, and they interviewed Scottie Pippen about that, like right afterwards, and like he was just like, "Are you kidding me? What guy has to call himself the GOAT? What guy does that?" They say Michael Jordan. Everyone calls him the GOAT, but he's never once stated that he was the GOAT. He's like, I never played against, like Bill Russell. I never got a chance to play against, like all these people from years past. I never got a chance to compare myself to them on a one-on-one game, so I can't call myself the GOAT. Jordan doesn't recognize himself as the GOAT, but his peers do. LeBron is he's saying that he himself is the GOAT. He's validating his status himself. Other people aren't doing it for him. So Scottie Pippen said, in his own words, that it's a shame. You shouldn't have to call yourself the GOAT to be the GOAT. It's not a title that you give yourself. It's a title given to you by your peers.
You don't have to join two superstars in a weak conference either, but hey.
After this documentary's out, Pippen's probably like, well, maybe I'll change that argument. I don't like MJ that much anymore. No, you feel it in your gut. Like, no one played like Jordan. Like, no, I mean, LeBron's amazing, but like, no, he's just not Jordan. He's not Jordan. He's not Jordan at all. At all. I mean, he's just not Jordan.
And even in like the new era when he was playing against the Wizards, he was still giving people the business, dude.
Yeah, he was.
He had like a couple 50-point games with the Washington Wizards. And you're telling me he was playing against plumbers and this, that. Dude is still an all-around skilled player.
I'm just like, how do you go and smoke 3 cigars like before the game or after the game?
That's what I'm saying, dude.
6-pack of beer and then go out and just ball. Like, I mean, how? Like, yeah, and Jordan didn't have to leave. That's a big one, too. Jordan didn't leave. Did Jordan have great talent around him? Yes, he did. But he didn't leave. He didn't go off and say, hey, Kobe, you want to play? Or he didn't, go off and try to get Magic. Hey, Magic, come to Chicago.
Right. People were drawn to Jordan,
Mm-hmm.
And, credit maybe to
and
GM
the Bulls
to
put some
Jerry
great players
Krause.
around
Yeah.
him. But
Exactly.
He shouldn't be penalized for that.
Right.
Should be penalized. Just like if LeBron went, like LeBron gets a lot of credit for the Cavaliers. Mm-hmm. Did they have the greatest talent? No. But he gets credit for that, so Jordan shouldn't get hated on for having great talent around him in Chicago.
Right. That's not his fault.
At all. No, not at all. I don't think there's no comparison. The question with me is he a top 5 player? Can he be a top 5 player of all time?
Yes.
Yes.
I think so. I disagree with Pierce on that when Pierce said that. I think Pierce is a very biased.
He's very opinionated.
He's very biased. He's very
salty.
opinionated. Which, as a Celtics fan, it's okay. Like, you like it, but like a little.
He's still salty. That's all.
A little shot.
Salty.
To say he's not the greatest, absolutely. To say he's not a top 5 player, I mean, just.
No, LeBron's definitely in the top 5.
He's a beast, man.
Sure.
He's a beast. It's to say that, no way. I found a funny list too. I was looking it up. It was like the top. It was like build your Celtics Mount Rushmore or whatever. But I didn't want to do that. But it had Isaiah Thomas as the 15th greatest Celtics player ever. Yeah, man. It was a joke. I mean, that one season
no.
is probably one of the best in Celtics history. That season he had, the stat line.
I think he's in the 20s. Maybe in the 20s.
See, I don't
Mid to late 20s.
I don't mind that. That season that he had, I mean, was one of the greatest in Celtics history. But to say he's a top 15 player in Celtics history.
Definitely not.
No. My take on the Mount Rushmore thing real quick. I was just thinking about it, taking a walk. And because they had the starting lineup Celtics, and you had Pearson there in the top 5. Here's my bold take. If Tatum stays with the Celtics for the next 10 years, and Tatum goes off and wins, even if it's just 2 championships, maybe 3, Tatum is over Pierce. Whether you put him in the starting lineup, if you have Pierce in that starting lineup, then Tatum substitutes.
If he wins Pierce. 2 rings, it's better than Pierce already.
Mm-hmm. I think his talent's better than Pierce already. I think what he can do is better than Pierce already, talent-wise.
Physical,
now it's just winning.
The physical stature of the kid. I mean, he was 6'8", like long wingspan, can shoot, defend. Pierce
if he could control his body like Pierce did, and like get those and one, like Pierce said, I'll give him that. Pierce was a great control of his body with the contact. If Tatum gets that down, I think he's already better than Pierce. Mm-hmm. Just winning those rings now, even if he wins only 2, and stays with the Celtics for a long period of time, that he's better.
This team as constructed right now, though, they're not built to win.
No,
they're not.
They got to build and support around Tatum. You know what I mean? I think they have a decent supporting cast around him, and but I think that they really what they're really lacking right now is a dominant big man, someone who can rebound the ball, who's good at defense. I mean, they got wing players for days. They literally have a surplus of wing players. I mean, Kemba Walker, is he the best point guard in the NBA? Heck no. But I mean, he's good. I think he's decent. He's not terrible. He's not great. He's in the middle. He's a little bit better than mediocre.
I don't think he fits what Jason Tatum's play style. I don't think he fits at all.
No, he doesn't. But I mean,
I think it's a bad fit.
He's not terrible. I mean, he's not terrible. Chemistry-wise, does he fit in? Great. Skill set-wise, like you said, absolutely not. Not really. But I feel like they need to build around him to get him to that point to where he can win championships. They're missing a big man, and I think that they're missing, a point guard who can help him out.
I think Smart even starting at the point guard would be fine. I don't even think I think Smart as your starting point guard is fine.
I think if Smart if they can wheel their deal or whatever, and maybe shop what's his face Walker off, and if Smart keeps developing like he is right now. I mean, I know he's known for his defense, but if he keeps balling out like he was before the All-Star game, he was hitting threes like no one, like in people's faces, he was going off. If he can continue that and show that he's consistent with that, I have no problem getting rid of Kemba Walker. And
Marcus Smart is a big-time playoff player. He's a big-time shot maker. He might not be the most consistent, but when you need a 3, you can rely on Marcus Smart.
If he can make that shot more consistent, absolutely no problem with him having point guard. And
if you can somehow get Smart, Embiid, and Tatum on that team, you're on your way to the finals. I believe personally. I don't care who else is there.
See, I think with superstar play from Tatum like he was playing before, and not even having to put up those numbers, but if he's giving you 20, 25 points a game, he opens up a lot of the floor for everyone else. And I think with a starting lineup like that, they are a contender.
Mm-hmm.
Do they beat Clippers? Do they beat the Lakers? I think they give the Lakers a little. I think they give them both runs for their money.
Yeah.
Those 7, I think.
I think they give both. So I think they're contenders, of course, and especially if Tatum plays like he was again, not stinking historic. I'm not saying his numbers were historic. That's the wrong word. Just 20, 25 points a game. That opens up the floor for everyone else. It takes the load off Kemba. I think they're definitely a contender as they are. Could they have been better? Yes, if traded Danny maybe added to the bench. Maybe if you move Gordon to the bench. Maybe if you added a couple other pieces to the bench instead of having Brad Wanamaker. The bench is what can kill them.
That's right.
But having that superstar play can take you a long way. And if Tatum continues to play like a superstar, they can contend.
I think Hayward has no guts. I don't know about you guys. I just think Hayward I think maybe because of the injury, whatever. But I just feel like all
He'll
of
never
that,
be the
like
same.
he just has no guts, like
I mean, I'll give him the
at
benefit
all.
of the doubt. I mean, I
Take
know
him off
that
the
he was a
bench.
slasher. I know he was a slasher, but I feel like that injury really messed him up. And for all reasons,
Sure.
I mean, I don't want to give him too much flack for it. I know a lot of people do, but going through an injury like that, and then you have like I can only imagine what it is. You probably have PTSD for the first couple of times you walk out on the basketball court after that. You know what I mean? Because all you can associate is that horrific injury in the last time you were in that uniform. So I can only imagine. So I feel like we should give Hayward a little bit more time, just to see what he can do, if he can get over this mentally. Because what it is that it's a mental block that he's got going on. It's a mental block that he can't get out of his head. If he can get over this mental hump and play like he was with Utah, like he was before, like balling out, scoring like up to 20 points a game consistently, I'm all for it. But I think people give him a lot of crap for that. I mean, Paul George had a similar injury. He bounced back quicker, but he went through
He's
the
not,
same thing.
but to interject,
the same
Paul
thing.
George was more talented.
he's not the same player though. Paul
No.
George is not the same player he was in Indiana, and I don't think Gordon. I think it's more a physicality thing, really. I think honestly, like he's a step slower. Watching the Utah tape compared to Boston tape, he is a step slower, maybe 2 steps slower.
And I think to that argument too, Paul George was a better
Let me
player,
finish.
even before
You
Hayward.
can put in your 2 cents after I'm done.
I
All
was
gotta
agreeing
say-
with you.
Let me finish.
My God.
All I gotta say is, people give Gordon Hayward too much crap. Give him like a year or two to see where he's at. If he falls off the cliff because of the injury, that's fine. Chop him
He's
out,
gonna be
release him,
32.
let him go.
I ain't giving him crap. He might be the next
No,
Chandler
I'm not
Parsons.
saying that. I'm not saying you guys are. I'm just saying that everyone gives him crap, because he's inconsistent right now. He came off a horrific injury, he's not back yet 100%. That's all I'm saying.
This is a business, though.
I know it's a
It is.
business. I know it's a business. Put him on the bench, see what he can do. If he comes back to what he once was, I know it's not going to be a perfect 100% to what he was before, but if he can come back similar to that, average similar numbers, fine. Put him in a starting position. Right now, I think personally he's a bench player, and he deserves to be on the bench until he can get over that hump.
Agreed.
But I think people give him too much crap for right now. I think you should see where he's at in the next year or two.
To divert to that point that you just made, I think right now would be a good time to test it too.
Absolutely, yeah. Yep. Now would be the perfect time.
There's no like standards. There's no crowd. It's like whatever. You come off the bench. You come off the bench now.
I've been saying that forever. Take him off the bench.
No, Orlando, like you can play in Orlando now. There's no expectations. There's no fans. There's no, I'm sure there's not going to be a flurry of media. Like there might be some, but it's like
Play through Brown and Tatum.
Right.
Kemba and Hayward should be supporting pieces.
Yes. Yep. 100% with that. Absolutely. They should be role
And
players.
Kemba shouldn't even be here.
he's not
For
a
that money. No way.
he's not a role player. You pay him
No
35 for what? He's not going to be 35 million is not a role player.
I like
think
him,
I
but
think it was a dumb signing. I think it was a dumb signing from the beginning.
any point guard works well in Stevens' system. As time showed, until it doesn't work, that's what you can say. Every point
You could have
guard-
saved that cap.
Going back to Jordan Crawford.
Somehow lured Anthony Davis in free agency. Even try to make a pitch to him because Tatum's playing out of his mind. You could say Jalen was playing out of his mind. It's like, hey, AD.
Are you
listen,
talking
man.
upcoming?
Yeah, like because he didn't re-sign with the Lakers yet. So it's like, hey, AD, like listen, LeBron's 37. He's not getting any, or 36. I don't know how old he is. He's not getting any younger. Hey, come play with the 2 young studs. You're 27, 28. You're trying to win now. Tatum's like, you ate that cap space up with freaking Kemba Walker.
I don't
What
think
team's gonna
AD
want Kemba Walker? Let's be honest here.
I don't think AD's comes to the Celtics even if he didn't have that cap space, because I think that they interviewed him before or whatever, because they were trying to get him over here or whatever, and he said, I don't like the way they treated Isaiah Thomas, so they shipped him off after that. That was like a big reason why he went to the Lakers instead of the Celtics. That was a big reason why.
His father said that. I remember that.
Yeah, that was a big reason why.
Yeah.
He wanted to go to LA.
Yeah, but who knows? Say they lose this year and it's a fucking like shit show. Sorry, excuse my French, but like it could be.
A lot of reports are saying he's mulling like other options, but I don't think he leaves. I think they've sold him on being the face there.
Yeah.
after LeBron.
Okay, another topic now. So this is another NBA quick hitter. Bradley Beal to the Nets. What do you guys thoughts about that?
Good luck
For
messing
what?
with Kyrie.
Is it a trade or is it just a free agency signing?
Trade.
So there's reports that the Nets are kind of seeking a trade for Bradley Beal. Or I heard Bradley Beal, and I also heard Victor Oladipo as well. But I think Oladipo is the better fit,
Stupid
personally.
to do that.
But
I mean, personally, because with the Bradley Beal, I mean, he's used to having the ball run through him. I don't know if he'd fit in well with Kyrie and Kevin Durant, which are two ball-heavy people. They want the ball to run through them. And Bradley Beal right now is used to having that role, on his current team. So I don't know if how well he meshing with that Brooklyn team.
Why would
Like,
Oladipo want to go? I don't know why it would. It's not like Indiana's a terrible team. Oladipo's been stinking welcomed in open arms down there.
I'm not saying he'd want to go, but I'm saying that the Nets are seeking, like.
I don't think Indiana does that.
No, I don't think Indiana does it, and I don't know, like, what do the Nets have to offer? What, Spencer Dinwiddie, really? Like,
Yeah.
you think? I mean, he's a
not
good
even.
player.
He's a free agent. He's gonna be a free agent next year.
Karis LeVert, who's a pretty good player. Jared Allen's a pretty good player. So
Their picks are gonna be useless,
Mm-hmm.
especially if they're in the middle.
And
So
I don't
Washington,
see-
they might have more value because Washington will take anything they can get to rebuild and do things.
They're a dumpster fire. Yeah, if they got LeVert and Allen, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for them. That's two.
Plus some picks. Might be able to get some picks for him.
LeVert and Allen are starters. No question. No question. Those are two starters right there.
You still got to think too. I mean, no matter, I don't know how he's going to be when he comes back. You still got John Wall coming back next year, so maybe.
I think John Wall's been out for like 3 years.
It's been so long. My God.
Ever since the UK dance, you just
Yeah.
It's been so long. I don't know. Maybe they want to give it one more run with him and Beal. See what happens.
No, I don't think. I think those days are done.
I don't know. Well, what I've read, I guess Wall's in the best shape of his life. He looks good. Who knows? I don't know what Washington is. Washington's always been a dumpster fire.
Agent Zero.
I mean,
Agent Zero.
Beal with Kyrie and Durant. Oh my God.
I think those are 3 prima donnas too.
I could. That won't work.
They're gonna implode on themselves if that happens.
That will equal Beal plus Durant plus Kyrie equals another fired coach. GM probably gets fired.
Mm-hmm.
A 30-win season.
Yeah.
And then Kyrie leaves and goes to stinking. He wants to go back home to Cleveland.
Probably.
I don't think they win. I don't think they win. I think they win at least 40 games. They win they probably win 45.
Take it or leave it.
Just like how the Celtics won 45.
They'll grind it out.
They're all too ball.
And then Kyrie will get hurt. Some backup point guard will come in. Then everything will run smoothly without Kyrie. And Durant will lead the team and everything will be good. And Kyrie will come back. Everyone will be afraid to play.
The one thing I do appreciate about LeBron is like how he handled Kyrie Irving. I feel like Kyrie Irving is good in a certain role. You can't make it's like an actor. Like it's like Kevin Hart. Like Kevin Hart sometimes in stand-up comedy, he goes on and he kind of kills his jokes sometimes. But when he's acting, I like him when he's acting because he has like a certain role he plays and that's it. He says a certain amount of lines and that's it. And he's funny. He doesn't kill the joke.
Kyrie doesn't know his role.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving, I feel like will do too much. He'll do too much. Do way too much with the ball. Dude, like no one could in Boston that last year that no one could get the touches or get in rhythm. And I just saw like every pass that was delivered from him was freaking late. It was late. The pass was late. Oh, you give me the ball, now someone's in my face. Now you want me to shoot the ball? Like, come on, man.
That was a big step back in Tatum and Brown's development.
Oh, what?
And I don't think Ainge realized that. Like, again, I loved it. I loved hearing Kyrie was coming here.
At the time, I did too. Yep.
I don't think he knew the dumpster fire Kyrie Irving was, but that was definitely a stunt in Tatum and Brown's growth. And I would have, after that playoff series that they went on, a game took LeBron to 7 games. Like, I think there was some reports came out that they looked at trading him. I don't know to where, but that's sad too. That
I would have traded him to LA. I would have said, hey, LA, you have Slonzo.
The one thing, I forgot when he said it, he was like, we knew Kyrie was gone in like March or February, whatever it was. Then why couldn't trade him somewhere? Get something for him, even if it's not a win for you, dude. Get something for the guy. Get something for him. You know, let Rozier ride out the year. Let him play. They probably would have did maybe a little bit better. I'm a believer that they're better without Kyrie. They probably would have maybe gave more effort in the Milwaukee series. I mean, he killed that team. He was a killer, and he's going to kill Brooklyn. Brooklyn ain't winning the championship.
Dude, it's going to be funny because he said he was like, I want that matchup with K Walk. He was like, quote unquote, I want that.
I mean, he'll
like,
smoke
dude,
Walker, but
yeah, but like, dude, you could have had that matchup. You were hiding because of load management.
Mm-hmm.
You were hiding because of load management because you didn't want to face those Boston fans. Those Boston fans are brutal.
Imagine that series.
Oh my God, dude! If we ever,
Brooklyn against Boston. Oh my God.
The Boo Birds will be out.
He's got to be the most hated athlete.
Mr. Benedict Arnold over there.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, yeah.
We talked about a lot of stuff.
Opened it up. Opened up the floor.
Absolutely.
Any final thoughts? Anything else?
Hey Keith, what do you think?
Well, you know, I think that Kyrie and Kevin, are they're two top 10 players, and but I think they're gonna clash. Oh, my printer's going off. My printer's going off. Oh boy. Yeah. No, that's it. I really got nothing else to talk about. You got anything else?
No, I got everything off my chest, man. The LeBron and Jordan thing was really like one of the main.
I'm happy that documentary's over. I was done with it. I was over it. A little too long.
Yeah, I just want basketball to come back. I don't
think I would have watched it that much if there was no sports on. I might have watched here and there. I probably wouldn't have.
Me and you are gonna do the Nugget challenge. We talked about it, but we are going to do it.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. We can do some other cool stuff on this channel as well. Do a lot of stuff. Well, anyway, check us out. I don't know where Keith went. Keith's gone. Anyway, check us out on Spotify.
Aliens took
it. Give us a like, comment, check us out on Facebook, Studs Podcast. And we have a new radio station that we are on Station Head. It's going to be music all day. Well, not all day, here and there. But we're going to do some live shows. We're doing some 80s shows, some music shows. And then also, when there's some breaking news events, we're going to go on there and cover it live. Whether it's all three of us, one of us, whoever it is, we're going to be on there too. So download the Station Head app. Our name right now, it's MRossi82, but it's going to be changed to Studs Radio. Just waiting for that to go through. You can check us out on there. Maybe we'll do some live shows as well on there. Station Head on the App Store. And if you'd like to support us, Anchor.fm can definitely support us on there. Keith, any final thoughts before we dismiss?
No, not really. Make sure you eat healthy, wash your hands, practice social distancing, keep your mask on, wear some gloves. I saw a bunch of people yesterday getting gas without any gloves or mask on at the gas station, which is like the filthiest place you can go. So don't be dumb. Keep your stuff on. That's all I got to say.
Yep. Yes, sir. All right. Well, we'll catch you guys next time on the Studs Podcast. Have a good one.
Support your local businesses, guys. Peace.
Right, peace.
Shout out Dollar General.